Hi everyone! Today I am going to tell you about my best performance mishaps and funny moments while I was at New York City Ballet. I'm going to start doing these little videos here and there to let you in on the life of a professional or some of my dance history with old photographs and videos and things. So this will just pop up from time to time. But I thought this was a good one to start with because I know most of you are in the middle of Nutcracker performances. And 3 out of the 5 mishaps for me were in Nutcracker. So I hope you find this funny, and this is to show you that everybody has problems. Everybody has mishaps. So my first one that's hysterical actually was in Nutcracker. I believe it was my first year. It was in snow, and Tyler Peck and I, well, we were both still in the corps at the time, and I know she won't mind me telling this because it's hysterical, but we were both in snow, and as you know, the snow falls through the little thing. If you don't know, the snow it's paper, and it's in this little hanging thing above the stage that just kind of goes back and forth. And at one point, I don't know if it was left over from the party scene or if it had actually fallen, there were 3 pens, like writing pens, on the stage, center back. And Tyler Peck and I were opposites, and there's this one part where 4 girls from one side of the stage and 4 girls from the other side of the stage run in, meet, and go down the center. And we were the front two, and we were both so fixated on these pens that we completely collided. And I hit the floor, she halfway hit the floor, because we were so focused on the pens that we didn't bother to look at each other to meet to go down the center of the stage. So I remember that one was interesting. The other mishap was also in snow, and in Balanchine's snow, one snowflake comes out at the very beginning to start. Bourréing. If you're not a dancer, bourréing just means when you're on point and you do little motions like this and you move across the stage. So I was the first snowflake. I come bourréing out, and you're like all pretty, and you wait for the conductor to give you the cue to start. So I'm just bourréing, snowflake, and all the lights go out. Just completely out. Apparently the switchboard had malfunctioned and every light just shut off. So instead of what you're supposed to do, which is keep going, I just went, I think it literally stopped in the center of the stage, and I walked off. And thankfully nobody really saw that because it was in the dark. But I remember one of the ballet masters like running back and forth across the stage trying to fix it. It took about 5 to 10 minutes, and then the orchestra was scrambling trying to find the right spot. We eventually started. But in the New York City Ballet, all the lights going out, that doesn't usually happen. And the fact that I never would have done that. I mean, it's not something you do, just stop and walk off. I mean, you're supposed to keep going no matter what. I stopped and I walked off. The third Nutcracker mishap wasn't actually a problem, wasn't actually my fault. I was dancing lead marzipan. It was probably towards the end of the run. I had done quite a few already. And we had a guest conductor. Now, in Balanchine's Marzipan, all of you know the music. The little intro, dun, dun, dun. It's very, very quiet. So you're backstage like a marathon person, like trying to listen, and you have your ear like next to the curtain, and you're like ready to run out because you run out and you pose. So we're all like this, and the music starts, we run out, and we're ready to do the dance, and it's warp speed. Here's the normal tempo. Sounds fine. This is what it was. I'm serious. It was that fast. And this poor conductor, he's new, he doesn't know. I was trying to give him looks. The ballet masters in the wing were laughing hysterically. Half the people in the wing, everybody knew it was wrong, so they came running over. Half the people were gasping in horror. The other half were cheering me on. Some people were laughing. I mean, it was hysterical, and it was literally a fourth of the time it usually takes. And Balanchine's Marzipan is so hard. It's so unappreciated. Anybody who's danced it knows that everything is hit or miss. So I'm sure it looked like a sloppy mess, and I just got through it to just stay on the music, do the dance, and get off the stage. I remember the minute it started, I thought, I just want to get off the stage. So that was interesting. I made it through, and I remember one of the ballet masters telling me, I do not know how you did that, because it was warp speed. My next mishap was in the ballet Four Temperaments. I was in the corps. I believe it was still my apprentice year, which is why it was terrifying to me. But I was in the corps of Sanguinic, which is one of the movements in the 4 temperaments. And there are 4 girls, 4 short girls. Basically, most roles are tall or short when you're in the corps. And so there were 4 short, I was considered short, so there were 4 of us. And at one point, I just completely blanked. I just didn't know where I was. I didn't know what costume I had on. I remember stopping and looking at the girl next to me, and then I finally continued. It seemed like an eternity. It was probably 10 seconds. But I completely blanked. Just, where am I? What am I doing? Oh, right. And then I kept going. And that doesn't ever usually happen to professionals because you've got it so much in you and you've rehearsed it so many times. Occasionally people do blank out. But I completely blanked. I had no idea where I was, what I was doing. And then it got back. My other blank out moment was in Coppelia. I was dancing one of the divertissements in the last act, in the wedding act. There, in the Waltz of the Hours, they have a lead Waltz of the Hours. And I was dancing that role. And because it was a solo, it was better. I completely blanked and I made it up for about a whole 2/8. Whole 2/8. I remember the ballet mistress coming back and asking me, because I was always a person that got choreography really, really fast, never had a problem. Instead of being upset with me and why did you do that, she came up to me, she said, "Are you okay?" Because that's just not me. I don't like make things up and forget. I just completely, for 2/8, just made up choreography. I couldn't tell you to this day what I did, but I remember thinking, I don't know where I am. I'm just going to make this up. Because I think I had gone in for someone who was injured and learned it in 2 days or something, and it was still very, very new. It wasn't in my body yet. So I just blanked and made something up. My last blooper, and I'm sure there are hundreds more, is the best one. And it was in Peter Martin's ballet Jeu de Cartes, which means the card game. And it was such a fun ballet. There are 8, maybe 12 corps girls. Half are black cards with white tutus with clubs or spades on them, and half of us were the red cards with white tutus and hearts or diamonds. I was a heart. And the ballet starts and you're standing on one leg with the other leg out, basically into a turned-in tendu second. It's very informal. And we have to shift to the other leg and then shift back. Somehow, in shifting from one leg to the other, I fell down. How, I don't know, but it's literally like this. And you're just shifting back and forth. I managed to hit the floor. How? I'm not entirely certain. So I see Peter in the wing to my left. And I look over and he's like, and then we have to run to the center of the stage. And I somehow managed to fall again. So it was in the span of like 10 seconds. Shifting, I fell, got up, ran to the center, fell. And I just hear the most horrifying gasps from the 2 front wings, because Peter was in one and one of the ballet masters was in the other. And I think I fell one more time during that show. I mean, it was like I couldn't stay vertical. So my motto from that ballet then on out was just stay standing. Just stay standing, it'll be fine. So it's not like I was doing a triple pirouette to the knee or something. I was shifting right and left, and I managed to hit the floor. So, those are my stage bloopers. I'm sure there are dozens more. I will include more videos like this. Also, I have a lot of old videos I want to show you all, give you my dance history, professional secrets, daily life, things like that. So it's not really a series, but these types of videos will pop up here and there. Be watching for next week. I'm doing a video all of you have been asking me for, and that is a warm-up routine for before class. And I'm also doing a holiday giveaway next week, so be watching for that. You do have to be a subscriber here on YouTube to participate in that, but I'm very, very excited to do that for all of you because I haven't done a giveaway in quite a while, so be watching for that. Also, my very first live class is coming up this Sunday. I will be emailing all of you who have signed up for that class to just prepare you for it and tell you what you need and everything. But if you haven't signed up and you'd like to, I've included my studio link below. So excited to be doing that for all of you. Also be watching for more vlogs. They will pop up here and there. I'm so glad you're loving them. So thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next week. Here's my second episode of Vlogmas. If you want to see it, you can just click it. Also, just click the subscribe button to subscribe. I'd love to have you. Thanks again for watching.